Perfect, perfect. All right, so let's get started. Let me hit record because I want to make sure that I hit record so that way it's recording. 1 second, let's see.
Recording in progress.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, so I am super excited. It is finally time for us to have our first session within Bomb CEO. And I'm so excited for this session because I feel as though it's going to set the tone for a lot of things. So, what's really exciting is that Bomb CEO is really different. It's different than anything that I've ever done. And the most thing that it's most similar to is maybe the e-hustle club. But in the e-hustle club, quite frankly, it wasn't as good as this, right? So with Bomb CEO, I'm really letting you in on some insight that has gotten me to multi six figures, which I know is a lot of your goals. And as we grow within Bomb CEO, one of my next goals is to achieve $1 million within a year. So once I do that, and I feel like I've mastered that, if you are still active within the community, you get to go to that next level too. So really, as I grow, you continue to grow and I continue to pull you up. And that's what I love about Bomb CEO that I wasn't seeing from a lot of other communities out there. Not only that, but Bomb CEO doesn't just focus on teaching you a whole bunch of strategies that you probably won't even execute. It's really about teaching you how to be the full package, right? So that's why I emphasize mindset, skill set, habits, and also the strategies as well. So that is what I absolutely love about Bomb CEO, and that's what makes it different. And so I'm super excited because we are almost to 20 members, and our first goal was to actually hit 10 for the first week, but the fact that we're almost to 20 is super exciting. And I know that that goal may seem small to you, but to me, that's major because Bomb CEO is not for everybody, right? Not only is it just not for everybody, but only a certain type of person will understand the value that Bomb CEO brings. And all of you ladies understood that value, right? If you agree with me, put a 1 in the chat. You understood the value that Bomb CEO brings, right? A lot of people want quick wins, they want quick success, or they want just like the cheat sheet to everything, like the a way that they can become a millionaire within a day or something like that. When in reality, a lot of that has to do with your habits. A lot of that has to do with your skill set. If you do not have the right mindset, if you do not have the right network, if you do not just have certain things lined up for you, you truly will not be able to see the success that you want. And so the fact that Bomb CEO is going to teach you how to do all of those things, I understood that it wasn't for everybody, and I understood that it may not have looked like the quick win that people wanted, because when you see it, you're like, wait a minute, I got to develop my mindset. Or wait a minute, I gotta change what I'm doing right now. I gotta change my habits. You're really telling me that I need to develop some type of skill set that I don't have in order for me to hit six figures or to hit multi six figures, right? When people see that, they get scared. And so I knew that Bomb CEO was going to be one of those things that was like a slow growth. But once they started to see and hear about all of the wins that we're experiencing within this community, that's when everybody's going to want to start to join, right? So shout out to you for being a trailblazer and for believing in yourself and for just going after what it is that you want. I truly am proud of you, and I'm not just saying that just to say it. And I'm so excited that we hit almost 20 and our goal was 10. So now it's about getting to the mindset that we want to achieve, but most importantly, getting to the abundance that we want to achieve as well. So I'm so excited for Bomb CEO that we've already put together the schedule for July. But before I share the schedule, I want Reagan and Onisha to introduce themselves, because within Bomb CEO, you are fully supported, not only by the other members of Bomb CEO, but by other members of my team. So Reagan is your community manager and Onisha is my right hand, and they're both within the community to help you with anything that it is that you need help with. Reagan is your go-to for anything Bomb CEO related, but in times where I am not available, Onisha will replace me. And so I wanted you to see their faces, learn a little bit about them so that you can say hey to them and know who they are. So Reagan and Onisha, whoever wants to go first, probably Reagan, you can go first. Just introduce yourself, share a little bit about you and why you're excited for Bomb CEO. And let me stop my share so you can be big. Ooh. Go ahead.
I was trying to cut you off. Hi, I'm Reagan. I am the community champion here at the Brand Hustler.
And yeah, just thrilled to be here because ever since I got hired a couple months ago, it was hit the ground running, prepping for Bomb CEO. I feel like there's been so much anticipation that now that we finally launched, it's really encouraging and really awesome that all of you guys are here. Yeah, so basically, if you guys need anything, if you have technical issues, anything, I am just text away. And actually, you will be seeing a message from me. We are kind of implementing a little bit of a
So,
new way of doing things when you guys have issues.
so I am live within the first session of Bomb CEO. If you've heard about Bomb CEO, we are having our first session today. I'm so excited. It's going to be so juicy. We are talking about the 7 traits that make up a Bomb CEO, and there are 7 traits that my $1 million mentees or mentors, I'm sorry, have taught me. So if you're interested in learning some millionaire traits that you can apply to your life, your brand, and your business, definitely stay tuned. But know that if you want to be in on these types of sessions, that you should definitely make sure that you join Bomb CEO.
Thank you for saying that, Ray.
All right. So make sure that you're commenting as I go through the session tonight. You can comment in the chat as well. There's no need to be quiet. You can comment in the chat. If I can see your question, I'll answer it. This live won't be up for replay at all. And then the lives that I did last week and the week before, we're taking down tomorrow officially. So definitely enjoy and interact. But if you want to get more of me, my mentorship, my leadership, and things like that, you definitely want to join Bomb CEO because it's bomb. Okay. And please give this video a like as I go through tonight and I'm dropping gems. Give this video a like so that way YouTube knows that you like stuff like this, and I do too.
Making sure that Bomb CEO is going to be fantastic for you guys, from making sure that everything, all the resources that you guys have, the assistance that you guys have, the community that you guys will build together. So I really, really hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys find this exciting, and I'm happy to be here.
Yay! Thank you, ladies. Everybody say welcome or hey to Reagan and Onisha. Say hey. You can come off of mute and say hey too.
Hey, welcome. Hey.
Hey.
Crystal put hey in the chat. Put hey in the chat if you can't speak. But thank you for those who came off of mute and said hey. I'm really excited, just as they are, for them to be here for sure. So let me go ahead and share my screen again. We got some slides tonight, but it's not, it's not nothing too complicated. You're gonna need to take more notes than it is that you're gonna need to see these slides. I can guarantee you that. But like I said, I want to show you the schedule for July and just talk through it a little bit. If you are going to miss any session within Bomb CEO, know that we do have replays. However, I highly suggest that you join in on the live sessions because it's just something about being in the actual room. You get to engage, but you also get to ask questions. And it's something about the energy when I'm actually teaching live that just helps you stick to the information a little bit more, at least for me. If it's the same for you, then I highly recommend that you join in on the live sessions. If you absolutely can't make it, like the 1% of the time that you can't make it, we do have replays, but I strongly believe in making a way. So if you're like, I can't make it because I need to go grocery shopping, that is not a reason. That is an excuse. You can literally have Bomb CEO playing in your headphones while you're shopping, while you're going for a walk, while you're doing whatever. You can do both, right? I've had mentorship sessions where I've forgotten and I've scheduled it at the same time with like a coaching session or an audit session. And I have had my mentor literally on one computer, like on the laptop, and I'm on the next one teaching my actual session because I didn't want to miss out on what it was that she was sharing with the group of us for that night. So there are going to be times where you need to kind of do like a double up. I highly suggest doing that. Always make a way, right? I am the queen of always making a way. It doesn't matter what is stacked against me. I always make a way, okay? So let's get into the schedule because I'm super excited about this. The very first session that we're having after this one is going to be on July 5th, so next week. We are going to talk all about brand building blocks. The reason why I'm starting here is because obviously I'm the brand hustler and I truly believe in building a solid brand and building a brand centric company. Brand centric companies tend to be the most successful, and I know that you hear about how you need to build a brand and how it's so important all the time, but a little time do people actually break down what that actually means. So in our session all about building a brand, I'm going to break down the components to a brand so that you truly understand what it means to have a brand. That way you can learn how to build a successful one. So that is really, really going to be juicy, and it's going to set the tone for a lot of things that we do. Now you'll notice that the date for that says July 5th because July 4th is a holiday. So we're not going to meet next week Thursday. We're going to meet next week Friday. And I am actually not making an excuse to not show up, right? Like I just talked about not making excuses and finding a way. I am finding a way to show up even though I'm not going to be in town and I'm not even going to be in this time zone, right? But I am going to show up and y'all will see where I'm at, and I'll tell you about the time zone difference and all that type of stuff when I'm there next week. But literally, some people would have just not done it. And so the fact that I am still going to show up says a lot. And I hope that that is proof that you need to, 99.9% of the time, make a way and not make an excuse. After that, on July 11th, we're going to talk all about target audience. So this one is going to be really, really good because we are going to build out your full target audience profile in detail. This is going to be part one of target audience because it goes so deep. But 9 times out of 10, I find that entrepreneurs are struggling because they either don't know who their target audience is or they think that it's everybody. And for the slim few that think that they know who their audience is but are struggling to find them or communicate with them, it's because of number one, they truly don't know who their target audience is and they haven't fully defined them in detail. So we are going to define them in detail and build out a full target audience profile in depth so that way you can gain a lot of clarity and you can immediately start to do some things and make some moves within your business. After that, we're going to talk about the power of community on July 18th. So we're going to talk about how to build a loyal community. And in there, we're also going to talk about building an email list. Then we're going to have our first Q&A session on July 25th, where you're going to come with all the questions that you have for me and I'll answer them live. And that's going to be a really, really good and insightful session. So this is July, and I want you to let me know in the chat which session you're most excited for. The brand building block session next week, the target audience part 1 session the week after, the power of community session, or the Q&A session. Put it in the chat. Which one are you most excited for? Power of community, power of community. Okay. Crystal said all of them, but if I had to pick power of community, okay. Okay, so everybody's looking forward to the power community. Yes, that's going to be really, really juicy. I'm excited for that one as well, especially about building your email list because I know that a lot of people struggle with that. On YouTube, Andrea said power of community. Hey, Andrea, girl. Shelly said community and target audience. You're supposed to pick one, Shelly, but I'll let you pick 2. Okay, cool. So power of community is going to be really good. So I'll make sure that we bring the heat with that one. But the power of community is super essential, right? There have been times where I have not shown up online due to whether it was illness or whatever the case may be. And my community still showed up and I still was able to generate revenue within my business. So that's going to be super powerful because you're learning from me. So that means I'm going to teach you the things that I have done, which if you do them right, you'll be successful at it too. Right, so super excited about that. Tonight, though, we are going to talk about the 7 traits that define a successful CEO, more specifically, a successful bomb CEO. Are you excited for tonight? Put yes in the chat. Are you excited for tonight? And can y'all see my screen big, or do you see videos of other people? Let me know. Let me know, because if you do, we could turn off our video and then come back. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. All right, so let me switch my view really quick so I can see my screen big because I'm like, why do I not see my screen? I see Althea said yes, Crystal said yes, Reagan, Shelly said yes. Perfect. All right, let me switch my screen if I can figure out how to do it. I probably have to stop this first. Let's see. Boom. All right. Hopefully this works. No, that didn't work. Same thing. Okay, it's fine. All right. So I want you to take out your notebooks, get something to write with for sure. Because see, this is going to be a little bit different. So if you have, before Bomb CEO opened up, if you have joined any of my lives, you know that I usually go in super detail about whatever it is that I'm teaching. But today we're going to go even deeper because we are going to talk about actionable steps that you can take, right? So the thing about being in Bomb CEO is I want you to actually execute and actually do the things that we learn. Unlike my previous membership, the E-Hustle Club, where it was a lot of learning going on, but it was a lot of dragging feet going on, we don't do that in here. So everything that I'm going to share with you, you're going to have action tied to them. It's going to be something for you to execute. Okay, so make sure on your notebook, get a highlighter or something, or get a different color pen or something like that, that you can write whatever the action item is that you need to do in a different color. Let me know when you have a notebook and either a pen and a highlighter or 2 different color pens. Put ready in the chat when you're ready, and then we'll hop into it. All right, I'm gonna wait on Glennis, Keisha, Khadijah. Who else didn't say ready? Crystal. I'm gonna wait for y'all to grab y'all stuff. From now on, make sure that you always have something to take notes, and just always come prepared with either a ton of highlighters or different color markers and things like that. Okay, Glennis is ready now. Keisha ready. Okay, perfect. Crystal's on the move. I got you. All right. So let's talk about what makes up a bomb CEO, right? So these 7 traits that I'm about to share with you are traits that I either learned the hard way or I learned through guidance. Now, each of these 7 things, if you don't learn and actually execute on the 7 things that I share here tonight, you are going to find that it's going to be difficult to get to your next level, right? So I have either hit my head a couple of times because I didn't know these things, or I wasn't practicing these things actively, or I've been able to skate past a few roadblocks because I had somebody who taught me these things and helped me actually practice all of these traits that I'm going to share with you, or characteristics, whatever you want to call it. Traits is a shorter way to say it when you're taking notes than characteristics, but truly it could be either or. So before I hop into those 7 things though, I want to emphasize why it's important, right? Because I don't want you to just write these 7 things down and then never actually practice what it is that I taught you here tonight. It is going to be so crucial that you practice these 7 things because they're going to continue to show up in our time together, and they're going to continue to show up in your years of business, right? Or in your years of life, period. Because honestly, a lot of these traits transfer over from business to your life. Okay. And so I finally can put into words like where I'm at, what I've learned, and all the things, because I took some time to reflect on all of the things that I've learned and what were the most crucial and essential pieces of information or traits that I've picked up. And these are honestly the 7. And so I'm so excited to share these with you because this is going to separate you from everyone else. Have you ever heard of the 1%? Have you heard of people referring to people as the 1%? Yes. Yes, right? So you've heard of the 1%, right? And so the 1%, they are the people who make the most money. 1% of people, they're at the top, right? And so with everything, there's percentages. So if you've heard about the 1% when it comes to wealth, I want to tell you about a percentage when it comes to business, right? So in business, when you are starting a business, do you understand that not a lot of people even make it to launch? A lot of people don't make it to launch at all. right? Do y'all know that? Some of y'all haven't made it to launch in some years. I know a lot of us are already in business, but some of us know of someone or we've been that person who hasn't made it to launch, right? So there's a percentage of us who haven't even launched yet who are calling themselves entrepreneurs. Luckily, that's not you, right? Now, I want you to understand that out of the percentage that actually launch, only 80% of those people make it past 1 year. Okay? I need you to write these down because these percentages are crucial. 80% make it past 1 year. And out of that, only 55% survive to make it to 5 years. That's a little bit of people if you take into account everybody who wants to call themselves entrepreneurs. Luckily, I've celebrated my 5-year anniversary 2 months ago. And so I've made it to 5 years. I'm a part of that percentage. But then when it comes to wealth, since I started this off with the 1%, do you know that 17% of people only reach the upper middle class or above? So in the world, there are 83% of people who are lower middle class and low class, period. Isn't that crazy to think? It's crazy to think about, right? And so do y'all know what makes you upper middle class? Do you know what the amount is? What the number is? Guess in the chat. What makes you upper middle class? Put a guess of a number in the chat. What's the personal income amount that makes upper middle class? Keisha said 200K. And shout out to everybody who's engaging in the chat. I really appreciate that. Because I'm going to share something with you later that's going to make you want to engage. Althea said 55,000. Okay, Althea. All right. So the 17% of people who reach upper middle class, they make a personal income of $120,000 or more. Notice I'm emphasizing personal income. So what does that mean? That means that if you are reliant on your business to be your sole income source, you got to consider that your personal income is a fraction of that, right? And so if you do things in the way that my accountant taught me to do things, typically you're taking away anywhere between 25 and 40% of your income, depending on where you're at in business and how you have things set up. So if you look at that as, let's say, 30% of your income, you're really needing to make roughly about $380,000 in your business a year. $380,000 a year to be able to consider yourself upper middle class, because then you'll take home roughly around $120,000. Does that sound like a lot for y'all? Yes or no? Does that sound like a lot? Andrea said 150,000 or more. You were close, Andrea. Does that sound like a lot? Yes or no? Does that sound unachievable? Getting to $380,000. Keisha said no. Thank you, Keisha. I like that. I like that you said no. So if it was so achievable, why are there only 17% of people that have done it? So out of every 100 people you see, only 17 of them have a personal income of 120,000 or more. That's a little bit if you ask me. Because when you look at business owners, it means only 17% of them are taking home 120,000 a year or more. So I'm glad that we're on the same page and you think that it's super achievable, but in reality it's not, because if it was, everyone will be able to get there. So I say that because when it comes to business, I want to teach you everything I know that has gotten me to the top 17%. And then I want to guide you along the journey as I grow to be a part of the 1%, because I am going to get there. And I'm going to get there pretty soon. But because I've been at the 17% mark for a few years, I kind of mastered what it takes to stay here. So I want to teach you what it is that I feel as though I've mastered, because I know that you are achieving to get there too. Who wants to be able to make over 120,000 in their personal income every year? Meaning that you're making over 400,000 in your business pretty much. That's almost $500,000. Who wants to be at that point? If you want to do that, say me. Perfect. I see the me's. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And so the harsh truth, right? Even though we're just starting Bomb CEO and it's 20 of us in here, as we grow, the harsh truth is everyone won't make it. Even the 20 inaugural members, everyone won't make it. And it's crazy to think that, but physically I can't take everyone with me because you are going to have things that stop you, right? You're going to have roadblocks that come up, and the thing that's going to separate you from the people who actually get to the 17% and then the 1% is going to be how you actually conquer those roadblocks and those challenges. So, who are going to be the ones that make it to that 17%? Is it going to be you? If it's going to be you, put I am in the chat. I can't tell you who's going to make it. You have to affirm it for yourself. And you have to remember that you made this affirmation, because when the going gets tough, or when I share a strategy that seems like, oh, that's a lot of work, or when I tell you that you need to make a change in your life, or you need to make a shift within your business, because a lot of you may share some things with me when we have audit sessions and Q&As, and I may look at you and say, oh, girl, I wouldn't do that. And it's going to sound crazy to you because you've been so headstrong and so stuck in what it is that you're doing at the time that you're not going to want to make the shift. But in reality, that shift is what you need to make in order to get to the percentage, in order for you to get to the top, right? And so there are going to be a lot of roadblocks. Although I don't know all of you personally yet, there are going to be a lot of roadblocks, and that's going to knock some of you off track. So the people who are going to stay on track are going to be the people who actually do the work, right? So although my goal is to equip you with as much as I can so that you can know what to do when these roadblocks hit, you are going to need to do 80% of the work, and you are going to need to put in the effort in order to gain the right to call yourself a bomb CEO. Okay? I don't want you walking around saying you're a bomb CEO, but you quit 500 times, because then I'm not going to claim you. I'm going to see you. Hey, Lauren. Hey, Sienna. I'm going to see you, and you're going to be like, I'm a bomb CEO, or you might be wearing a t-shirt or something one day if we ever make one, and I'm going to be like, oh, no, baby. I remember you fell off. Okay? So what better way to kick off this mentorship membership community, what better way to kick off Bomb CEO than sharing the 7 characteristics that make up a Bomb CEO, so that way you have not only the characteristic, but the action that you need to take in order to get there. So let's get into it, right? Let's get into it. I'm glad that y'all are ready with your notebooks and your pens and your highlighters and all the things. So the first characteristic, or the first trait, is not going to be surprising, but it is a powerful mindset. Okay? I always stress mindset, because your mindset sets the tone for whether or not you will be successful. If you tell yourself that you can't do something, you won't do something. Most importantly, how you think influences everything that happens to you. I don't care if you're sick. I don't care if you feel as though you don't got no money to pay your bills. I don't care what it is. If you think in the negative things will continue to happen to you, right? There's this thing out there. There's a movie, and I believe it's also a book, but I've seen the movie called The Secret. And maybe we'll do a movie night later on in Bomb CEO before the summer is over with, and we'll watch The Secret. But The Secret truly teaches you how to trick your mind into believing what it is that you want and into seeing the positive. Because the more positive that you see and the more positive that you think, the better things actually happen to you, right? And so there are a couple of things that I do to make sure that I'm practicing having a positive mindset, because I truly believe that as a bomb CEO, I have to have a powerful mindset, because that contributes to my persistence, that contributes to my dedication, and that contributes into the proactive approach that I take whenever odds are stacked against me. So whenever there's a problem, I'm always the person to think of plans A through Z, because I believe that there is a way to do everything. And so if you're going to be a part of this community, if you're going to be one of my mentees, I need you to learn how to take a proactive approach to everything, right? Even if that means that you have to have risk They're going to be calculated risks though. But even if that means that you have to take risks, know that because you have the right mindset, it's going to lead to massive success. And the times where you feel as though it hasn't been the most successful or it didn't turn out in the way that you wanted it to, guess what? Because we have such a powerful mindset, we are going to know how to take that L and turn it into a W, or how to take that L and turn it into a powerful lesson that will contribute to our success to come. All right? So if you're agreeing to having a powerful mindset, put it in the chat. I was also supposed to go live on Instagram and I completely forgot. Y'all, I be ignoring Instagram for real. I really ignore Instagram and it's sad. But let me go live on Instagram. Am I on the right one? Let's see. I don't even know if anybody's going to come in. Okay, Keisha, thank you for saying mindset in the chat. Okay, so now I'm going to share with you what I do or what I want you to do to practice a powerful mindset. So before I share that, I want you to write down one limiting belief you have about your business. Put it in the chat. One limiting belief that you have about your business. It could be a negative thought. It could be something that you think that you can't do for whatever reason. Put it in the chat. And be honest. Because that's the only way that I'll be able to help, or that we will be able to support you. So be super honest in the chat. What's one limiting belief that you have, or one negative thought that you have? I don't know how to say your name. Iglima, I have failed before. Okay. Onisha, did you see what I wrote you earlier?
No. Did you write it to me in the chat or did you text? Because I don't.
Oh, I put it personally.
Oh, I didn't get it. Let me
dang. Hold on. Let me see if I can see what I wrote. Okay, Shelly, thank you. Althea, I see that you shared something. I'm going to wait for some more people to share. Onisha, I'm going to send it again to you really quick. Let me know if you get it. Did you get that?
Yeah, I just got.
Okay. All right, perfect. Perfect. Let me see what y'all putting. Somebody said I failed before. I don't think I can break into the industry to be a household name. Okay, let's drop some more in the chat. Let me go. Y'all, this is how you know I don't go live on Instagram because, okay, there we go. Boom. Now, only if I knew how to pin something, but it's okay. We're going to figure it out afterwards. All right, so let's see. Althea said, oh no, Shelly said that I won't be able to make the money I want to make. What's the amount, Shelly? Althea said that I won't be able to launch. Why is that? Khadijah said I can't compete with bigger brands. Do you truly want to? Keisha said sometimes tasks might be hard to complete. Overwhelming, Keisha? Let's see. Glennis says creating new content. Okay. So these are all things that you believe are limiting beliefs or a roadblock that you can't overcome. Okay. So now what I want you to do is I want you to practice changing that into a positive thought. So one of the things that I do, and I'm really good at it now, is I change everybody's negativity into positivity. I want you to become so good at it that you're able to do this for your friends, for your family, for your spouse or your significant other. But I want you to flip the negative thought that you just put in the chat into a positive one. So, for example, if I had the thought that I won't make the money I want to make, my first step is to identify what is that amount of money in the first place. Because some people say that they want to be successful or they want to earn 6 figures, but they don't know if it's 100,000 and they're good with that, or if they want to earn multi 6 figures and they're really shooting for 300,000 or 400,000. And then what's the frequency of that? Is that yearly? Is there a certain amount that you want to make monthly? What is that? Right? So identify what that is and then flip that negative thought into a positive one by saying, I will make X amount, and then whatever the frequency is that follows it. Okay, so I want everybody to flip their negative thoughts into positive ones. Hey, Instagram. So I don't really go live on Instagram, so I don't know who's going to join this, but if you're joining, you are getting a peek into my new membership community, Bomb CEO. Tonight is our first session, and we are talking about the 7 success traits that will separate them from all of the other people who are out here claiming to be entrepreneurs but not really succeeding at it. We are going over the 7 traits that have been taught to me, either through my experience or through mentors being so gracious to share them with me. I am sharing them with my community, and you're able to hear it tonight. Okay, so Shelly said, I will make 10K monthly with hard work and dedication. I love that, Shelly. Althea said, oh wait, that's a part of your negative thoughts. Okay, Keisha said, I can do hard things with ease. I love that. Althea, what's yours that you're flipping it into? Glennis, what's yours that you're flipping it into? Khadijah said, I'm in my own lane and no one can reach my audience like I can. Yes, what I would do, Khadijah, I would also put no one can reach and connect with my audience like I can. Hey, Farisha. So reach and connect, because reaching is one thing, but connecting is another thing. Althea said, I would be launching my online boutique before December 31st, 2024. I'll also add to that, Althea, because you're going to be launching collections, is you need to have an affirmation that speaks to the successful launches that you will have after your main launch as well. So the trick to that is to literally just flip it on its head. Because the reason why you have this limiting belief in the first place is because you've probably seen somebody else attaining what it is that you want to attain. So now you got to ask yourself, if that person can attain it, why can't you? Is there a reason? 9 times out of 10, there's no reason. There's just an excuse, or there's just this daunting thing that you've held over your own head for so long that you believe that you are not worthy of achieving whatever that goal is. Right? Y'all with me? Y'all with me? Perfect. Okay. So the next thing that I do, right? And this is actually, I can't even show it to you because I'm using both of my phones on live. But the next thing that I do, and Althea, you've heard of this one already, but the next thing I do was actually taught to me by one of my mentors. And that is, I say something that I'm grateful for every single day. You are thinking negative and you are thinking that you can't accomplish something because you haven't actually sat and dwelled in the things that are actually happening that are good for you. Right? Would you agree? All right, I see yes, exactly. So what I want you to do is I want you to take out your phone and I want you to set an alarm. So on my phone, I have an alarm, right? On my phone, I have an alarm. If I knew how to share my screen on Instagram, I would. But on my phone, I have an alarm. My alarm is for 11:45 at night. I choose a time that makes sense for me. So you need to choose a time that makes sense for you. So I chose 11:45 because I know that I'm not going to be busy doing anything else. I know that 11:45, even if I'm working super late that day, I'm not working at that time. It is very rare that I'm working at that time. Maybe if I have a launch that's happening the next day, yeah, I may be working past that time, but that's one day out of 365. So I pick a time where I know I'm at ease. For you, that may be lunchtime. For you, that may be, your bath time. Whatever time that is where you actually have to yourself and you can dwell and reflect on the day, I want you to set an alarm for that time. And I want you to name the alarm gratitude and put emojis that represent something happy or peaceful for you. That could be a beach, that could be the sun, flowers, whatever it is. You need to have an image associated with that alarm that will strike up some type of positive emotion. Because there are going to be some days where you're going to be super, super over it. But seeing that emoji and seeing that when it pops up on your gratitude alarm is going to switch your mind into thinking positive. So for me, I think it's, let me see, I'm just going to pause my YouTube to do this real quick. For me, and of course it's not on this phone. For me, it is, I don't know how to do it on my phone that's on YouTube Live. But for me, it's a honey jar, and I think it's a money bag maybe, but I feel like it's a honey jar and something else. So have you set your alarm? Once you set your alarm, put done in the chat. And see, the trick to the gratitude, and this is something that my mentor taught me, because I am a God-fearing woman, right? So I truly do believe in being grateful for all things, but I found that I was taking for granted a lot of things because I wasn't doing this daily, and I wasn't reflecting on specifically what happened for the day. So it's not you setting a gratitude alarm, and when the gratitude alarm saying, oh, I'm grateful to be alive. That's not what we're doing. We're talking about what we're specifically grateful that day, grateful for that day. So maybe you were outside and, maybe you almost got into an accident. You're grateful that you were able to, swerve out the way just in time. Maybe you were outside and you encountered a homeless person that you gave a donation to. And maybe you're grateful that, although you are not making the amount that you are aiming to make just yet, you have enough to put food on your table and a roof over your head. Maybe you're grateful that maybe, something went wrong in your business. Maybe somebody complained today. You got a really bad customer service email, but you were able to flip it around and make that person's day. Maybe you had to give them something for free, whatever the case may be. And now that turned into a positive interaction with them. Being grateful for that versus dwelling on the fact that they complained in the first place is how we find the positive, even when it seems like things went really, really terrible. All right, I see 2 people have theirs set. Althea said, how do I put the emoji? Do you have an iPhone or an Android? If you have an Android, I'll let Onisha answer you. I don't know. Oh, you have an iPhone. Oh, okay. So literally in the title of your alarm, just go to the emoji thing and tap it. It should save. I can't see it because you have the blur on. Take your blur off. And you can come off of mute if you want to. Let me see. Come. I just sent you a request on mute. There you go.
I don't even know how to take this blur off.
Oh, you don't know how to take the blur off? I think it's in settings.
I go to reaction and then what?
No, I think you go to settings in Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'll figure it out. Don't worry.
You sure?
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do it later.
Okay. But set it still and then put the emoji later. Okay. Cool beans, cool beans. All right. So everybody else got their set? Let me see. Keisha done. Shelly done. Khadijah, you got your set? Okay. Cool. So every single day, you're going to do this. So your alarm should always be on. Even if you aren't home, you're traveling, whatever the case may be, your alarm should always be on. I became so good at this that I would be out with friends and we could be doing whatever. We could be bowling. We could be in a parking lot. We could be wherever. And I stop and I make everyone share what they're grateful for. Althea had asked, should I make that into a journal separate from a personal journal? Yes. So what I do is I have a gratitude jar and then I like to write down on the cards what it is that I said for the day. I am not really good with keeping up with writing it down though, but I do always say it. I'm really good with always saying it. I'm trying to get better at writing it down because I'm not always home and then I forget to like text it to myself or something. So I'm missing a few cards. But you can do something like a journal or you can do a jar as well. All right. Perfect. Khadijah, done. Perfect. Okay. So then the second characteristic or the second trait is that bomb CEOs get things done. Okay? So it is super important that you're action oriented. I like to say something along the lines of people are professional learners, and we do not want any professional learners in here, right? We want people who execute. We want to be executors, right? We want to be known for learning something and then actually going and doing the thing that we learned. If you're guilty of being a professional learner, put guilty in the chat, right? Because one thing about me is you can call it impromptu, you can call it, what do those people call when they don't take time to think through things, sporadic or whatever, right? You can call it whatever you want, but doing that and taking risks has allowed me to win, right? And so there's been times where I've been scared or I've let somebody talk me out of something and then I saw the opportunity pass me. So I truly like to think that that is a benefit, which is why I'm telling you that you get things done. Because what's the worst that can happen? It doesn't go well, okay, at least you tried. Or if it doesn't go well, okay, let's see how we can fix that thing and make it go well. It's literally that easy. Right? And so you really want to be action oriented and you want to make sure that whatever it is that you are learning or whatever it is that you have on your mind, you figure out the action plan, you lay the action plan, and you go ahead and you execute on it. And you don't get lost in the planning phase either, because some people will plan for months or years and do absolutely nothing. You need to come up with a plan real quick and get to it, right? Obviously, you want to make sure that you're not doing anything crazy, like about to invest, $100,000 without a proper plan. But at the end of the day, a lot of the decisions that you are stopping yourself from making or you're scared of making are small decisions. And I can say that because I've talked to enough entrepreneurs that are either in the launch phase, in their first year of business, or whatever the case may be, or in their first phase of building a brand, because some have had businesses for years and never actually built a brand, which is why they aren't seeing the success that they want to see. And so I've talked to so many entrepreneurs that literally the decision that is stopping them from their potential is such a small decision to me. But that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing about who I am. And now that I'm your mentor, that's a good thing, because I believe in finding mentors or finding coaches that make your decisions seem kind of laughable, right? It seems really easy to them. Why do I want somebody that when I come to them with this big stressful problem can literally tell me the answer in a matter of minutes? Because that means that they either have the expertise or the experience or both, right? So when you come to me and you ask me questions or you put something in the group and I answer it really quickly, it's because I mixed either expertise and experience together, and now it's up to you to take action. Okay? So now what I want you to do in the chat, so we just set our gratitude alarm, right? What I want you to do in the chat is I want you to list one task that you've procrastinated on doing. It has to be a recent task, something that's not done yet. What's something you procrastinated on doing? Keisha said I have been in the past. What part, Keisha? Been what in the past? The Real said, go to alarm, then click edit on the alarm and put caption to add in the title. Oh, I think that's somebody answering you. They said you have to edit the alarm name. I thought you were already doing that, but I guess not. So when you set the alarm, I think it's 3 dots or something on the side. Something like that. Oh, a professional learner. Got it. Okay, Althea said ordering samples. She said, thank you. Althea said ordering samples. I want everybody who has procrastinated on doing something recently to put it. in the chat. I'm also going to think of something that I procrastinated doing. Oh, I know. I'll share mine once y'all have finished sharing yours. Keisha said, I should have started my Facebook community already. Launching, content creation. Thank y'all for sharing. Glennis said, connecting a payment option to my store. Not you missing out on money. Not you're missing out on money. Okay, so mine is I've been putting off making we have the content strategy for Instagram. I honestly have been putting off actually making the content. And then when I lost my voice, I was like, okay, well, I just ain't gonna do it. But it's funny because I lost my voice, but I didn't stop showing up on YouTube, which is my main platform. I was still showing up. So I'm like, okay, Chanel, there's a way that you can show up on Instagram. But I've been putting that off. Literally, I put it on my list almost every day. And I literally just told Kai this. I was telling her, I was like, girl, this one task has been haunting me. I've been putting it on my list for the past week and a half. So whatever it is that you just said you've been procrastinating on doing, I need you to complete it within the next 24 hours. So that means, Glennis, I need you to connect the payment option to your store. That takes literally less than 30 minutes. And maybe for you, it'll take an hour if you have some technical difficulties to work through. But connect that payment option to your store. Keisha, it takes literally 10, 15 minutes to set up a Facebook community. And I know that you already have the blurb for it because you know your brand already because we've worked together one-on-one. Keisha is one of my one-on-one clients. So I know you have the blurb that you can put in your Facebook community in that about section. I know you have the imagery. I know you have all the tools already. Just make the Facebook group. Althea said ordering samples. You should have ordered those samples a month ago. It's a sample. It's not you committing to thousands of dollars. Order the sample. Okay? Glennis said I'll send it to my web developer. Are you using Shopify? You don't need to send it to your web developer. I'm going to put a video in our chat. So I'm going to put a video in Bomb CEO that will walk you through how to do it. The video is less than probably 12 minutes. You can log into Shopify even while somebody's working on your site. You can log into Shopify and just set it up yourself. Because what I don't want you to do is to send it to your web developer and now you're reliant on him or her to connect it for you. And then you're making that the reason why it's not connected. So you're going to do that yourself. Okay? So everybody got the thing that they're doing in 24 hours. The chat is recorded. Is Reagan still in here? I think she is. If Reagan's still in here and you can screenshot or copy and paste what everybody is committing to do within the next 24 hours, do that for me, please. If Reagan's not in, okay, Reagan's in here. She said got it. Okay, perfect. So yes, Keisha, I'll even give you until 10 p.m. tomorrow. So 10 p.m. tomorrow, all of these needs to be done. And that means I need to have at least posted one time tomorrow on Instagram. That's going to be my thing. So I'm doing this with y'all. Okay, everybody got it? Got their thing? Write it down, highlight it. Okay, now the next step to getting things done, something that I want you to do consistently is to make to-do lists every single morning. I like to sit down at the top of the week and brain dump what needs to get done. And then I assign it to days based on my CEO schedule, right? And you'll learn about my CEO schedule later on, but I kind of have a theme to each day. So every day I'm working on something different, right? Each day I'm working on something different based on what the theme of the day is. And that helps me stay on track because sometimes it can be overwhelming when you got so much to do. It can be overwhelming when you have so much to do and then you just don't do anything at all. So what setting that up does, what deciding what my CEO schedule and actually using my CEO schedule does, It allows me to know exactly what I need to be working on that day. So if today is admin day, I'm doing all the back end things within my business. If today is connection day, I'm making sure that my clients are served, that if I have a customer issue, it's solved, all of the things. So you need to set days based on what your life and what your business look like at this moment. And so you need to utilize to-do lists. And a step above to-do list, I'm sorry, I think I was covering the microphone. Y'all, I just realized something. I said that I need to post and be active on Instagram within the next 24 hours. I just realized I'm technically doing it because I went live. So I technically already did it, but I'm still gonna post so that I can be along, y'all. Can you hear me now? Nobody? Thank you, Reagan. Somebody on Instagram said they couldn't hear me, so I was like, maybe I was blocking the microphone because I was over here trying to do a pinned comment because I don't know how to do it. Okay, perfect. Pin the comment. There we go. All right, so start doing a to-do list. And then here's the thing, right? Here I'm going to take it up a notch, right? Because we're not just regular degular. If we're going to call ourselves bomb CEOs, I'm going to take it up a notch. Every time you make a to-do list, you can do this either for weekly or daily. I do this daily though. When you make your to-do list, I need you to share it with somebody. You can choose who that person is. It could be your partner, your spouse, a best friend who's also in business. And honestly, if they're in business and they are struggling to build a brand and all the things, you need to get them in here. Or it could be one of the ladies that's in the group. Okay, if I were you, I would pick somebody that's in the group, and then I would pick somebody that's in my day-to-day life. I would pick 2 people. So for me, I'm practicing what I preach. I send it to my husband and I send it to my business bestie. I send it to 2 people every single day. Why? Because my husband is with me. So if he sees I'm over here slacking off, or maybe I'm over here, I don't know, outside playing with the dogs for 3 hours, he's like, wait a minute. That's not what you said you need to do. Okay? And then my business bestie, I send it to her because she understands. She also then sends me her list back. And then if there's something that she can help me with, she helps me. If there's something that I can help her with, I help her. So choose who those 2 people are. So you should be communicating in the chat, asking people who want to tag team with you. And then you just need to find somebody in your life that you can send it to. Okay? If you got a husband, that's easy. If you have a supportive partner, that's easy. Y'all got to do it too on YouTube. Y'all got to do it too. And so if you're joining new on YouTube, this is Insight into Bomb CEO. This is the first session in Bomb CEO. We're talking all about the 7 characteristics to be a bomb CEO, and they're getting action steps to do as well. And no, this live won't be saved, so you probably want to sit around and watch the whole thing for sure. Crystal says she needs a bestie. So somebody, chat Crystal or tag her in the group chat and figure it out. All right. So boom, that was characteristic number 2 or trait number 2, however you wrote it. Trait/characteristic number 3. And this one was possibly the hardest one for me to grasp, if I'm being quite honest. This was the hardest one for me to grasp because there were a lot of things I didn't want to change about my life. Characteristic number 3 is that bomb CEOs have great habits. One of the biggest realizations that I had within the past less than a year, maybe the past 8 months, was that in order for me to be able to attain $1 million in my business in a year, there were habits that I needed to change. In order for me to gain $1 million in assets, there are habits that I need to change. And I had to be real with myself. The faster you learn that great habits lead to greater success, the better off you'll be, right? And I know that a lot of times I'm talking only about like building a brand or growing or launching and things like that. And I hardly talk about habits. But now, because you're in Bomb CEO, we are going to talk about habits a lot. And we are going to build them often, okay? Because your daily habits support how productive or unproductive you are. And your productivity is what contributes to the success you'll have long term. And honestly, the success you have, even the success that you will have immediately as well. So as a bomb CEO, you need to understand that you need to cultivate great habits. You need to know that how you do one thing is how you do everything. That right there is a bar. And that's something that I had to write over and over in my notes, in my journal, all the things. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So if around the house, I'm really bad at actually putting things in the trash and just leaving them around, in my business, I'm probably just putting stuff everywhere and I'm not really being organized either. Or if I build a bad habit of saying, oh, I'll get to this later, I'll get to this later, guess what happens in my business? I'll get to this later, and get to this later never actually comes. Right? So it's all about building great habits. And although you may have a bunch of habits that aren't great, we need to focus on what the biggest habits are that need to be shifted and shift those first, and then the others will follow. Okay? So what I want you to do, this is not immediately today, because you already have two things. You have to do the gratitude on here, and then you have to share your mindset and start shifting things immediately. And you need to get a partner, like ASAP, and we got the 24-hour thing. So that's why I told y'all need to write these things down, because I'm going to be throwing these actions at you, and I need you to keep up with them. And it's recorded, so I'm going to know exactly what I said. And not only that, but Reagan's on here, and she's already started screenshotting what y'all have said and committed to. So we're really serious about it, okay? And about you getting things done. Okay, so over the next 30 days, you're going to practice this every 30 days. And we're going to do a checkpoint in the next 2 weeks. So what I want you to do is, for 2 weeks, I want you to take note of your bad habits. And you'll notice them. You'll notice them. You may not be able to think about them right now in this moment, but you'll notice them over the next 2 weeks for sure. Okay, so if you are doing something and then you turn to yourself and you're like, why did I just do that? Why do I always do that? That's probably a bad habit. If your significant other asks you the same question, or they say, I really don't like when you do this, that's probably a bad habit. If a friend or your mom or something like that says that, that's probably a bad habit too. So I want you to take note of all your bad habits. And then what I also want you to do is I want you to write down your goals. Okay, so you can do this, you can do the goal part immediately, or you can wait until the end of the 30 days or the end of the 2 weeks. But if you know your goals and you know them clearly, write them down. You can add to it as well. But then as you take a basically like a log of all of your bad habits, we're going to reflect at the 2 week and then the 30-day mark, and we're going to see what habits are preventing you from hitting your goals. This is major. This is something that I had to do, and that's why I said, oh, shoot, I got a lot of things I need to change. I've been able to get this far with some of these bad habits, but I'm not going to be able to get to my next level if I keep up these bad habits. So there's something that needs to change, right? And some of the things that got me to my first 6 figures or even multi-6 figures, I realized were shifts in habits as well, but I hadn't paid much attention to the changes that I made at that point until right now. So we're going to see what habits are preventing you from your goals. And then we're going to work to break these bad habits down and build new ones. Okay? Althea said personal or business goals, both. Because the reason why you want to succeed with your brand and your business is probably because it's going to contribute to your life in some way. It's going to allow you to achieve abundance. It's going to allow you to achieve some type of peace. It's going to allow you to achieve some type of financial freedom. So both. All right. Was this clear for anybody? Did this provide clarity for you already? Like taking note of your bad habits and then looking at your goals? Somebody said, I just read this on LinkedIn. Oh, that's cool. All right, Althea said, yes, I love it. Perfect. Is this providing clarity for anybody else? perfect. So the fourth trait or the fourth characteristic is, although we get things done and we need to take action, we need to take strategic action. So we're not going to just do dumb things all the time. What taking action means is making a decision that you're actually going to do it and committing to doing it at a certain deadline. Where strategic action comes in is you then making a plan. And if you don't know how to make a plan, or if you lack a piece of the puzzle, that's where I come in, and that's where the community comes in. So maybe you're like, oh my goodness, well, I know that I want to get this done by this time, and I'm thinking it needs to go like this, but I feel a little weak in the area of the visuals for it. Or I feel a little weak in the areas of what text messages I should send out to do this. Or I feel a little weak in the content for it. Or I feel a little weak, whatever it is. You share that and then let somebody help you. Maybe after you feel a little weak about the actual products or whatever it is that's a part of you taking strategic action, and you can get some feedback from the ladies in the group to see which one you should go with. Okay? So I actually talked a lot about strategic action in a live that I did on YouTube 2 weeks ago. And as of tomorrow, it's going to be taken down, and it's only going to be exclusively for BOM CEO members. It's going to live in your brand resource library. So if there's ever a time where you're like, okay, how do I take strategic action again? Maybe you're working on things and it's really late and you don't want to, quote unquote, bug anyone or whatever the case may be, even though I still suggest you ask the question, you will always have that session to revisit and see how I broke a goal down into a strategic action plan. So as of tomorrow, it will be in your brand resource library, and it will be off of YouTube. If for some reason you're like, I want to work on my strategic action tonight, you can look at it on YouTube up until tomorrow when it comes down, and then it'll be on your dashboard, okay? So in order to take strategic action, I'm going to break it down into 3 over kind of like high level steps. You're going to choose a goal. Then you're going to outline the steps that it takes to achieve that goal. And then you're going to develop a detailed action plan by breaking it down into smaller action items that you can take and assigning deadlines to each of those action items. And then what you do is you review it regularly and adjust as needed, but you need to track your progress, making sure that you're tracking data, and notate anything that worked really well and anything that didn't work well for you. That way you can tweak the action plan in the case that it doesn't fully give you the full result that you want. That's basically the steps. But in that live, like I said, it goes through for 2 hours, a full breakdown step by step. And so that video will be on your dashboard as of tomorrow and off of YouTube. Okay, characteristic number 5. We're almost to 7. We're almost to 7. Oh, and we are doing the giveaway tonight too of one of the prizes. So we're going to do that at the end, just so you know. But number 5 is BOM CEOs create opportunities. And the reason why I put action as in their middle name is because I feel like creating opportunities is a result of actually executing and taking action, right? And so you want to be proactive and innovative when it comes to creating opportunities for yourself and for your brand. If you are like, oh my goodness, I wish that I was known more in my local community, or my brand was known more, why are you not going to events? Why are you not sponsoring events? Or why are you not being a vendor at certain events? So on and so forth. If you know that there is a big opportunity for you to partner with someone, why haven't you reached out and said, okay, let's collaborate, or how can we collaborate? If you know there is a big opportunity in any space, wherever that space may be, why haven't you made a plan to actually create the opportunity? Or why haven't you just created the opportunity yet? Right? So BOM CEOs don't wait for the perfect opportunity, because it never comes. You create the opportunity. So you may feel as though people are getting lucky, but in reality, a lot of people who things seem like luck have positioned themselves in a certain way to get that opportunity because they've done the legwork. They've met the people. They've executed the strategy to get them from level 1 to level 5 to even be in that room to get that opportunity. Does that make sense? So it's not about people being lucky. It's about people actually creating the opportunities for themselves. So one of the things that I had told Keisha before is I gave her a speaking opportunity somewhere. And I said, if you do X, you will have this speaking opportunity. And she said, okay, I'm up for that challenge. What did that do? That pushes Keisha to operate at a different level so that way she can get that opportunity. And then guess what else Keisha also did? So Keisha has actually, I'm going to let Keisha share it. Keisha, come off of mute and share the opportunity that you just got with the workshops, but share a little bit about your brand first, please.
Hey everyone, thank you Chanel for allowing me to speak. So my brand is Amazing Girl Period, and we focus on tween education for their cycles and things like that. So I saw on Instagram where another lady in the community was doing workshops at her local rec center. And so I thought about it, and I'm like, maybe I can start doing workshops in my local rec center. So I went out and talked to some people, and I discovered two different places where I can provide workshops. And it was actually easy. I thought it was going to be really hard, but
Bucky,
it was
sit
a simple
down.
process. And so I'm going to be starting workshops in the next couple of weeks.
How are y'all feeling? Has this been helpful? Has this been a good peek into Bomb CEO? We're getting ready to do a giveaway at the end of Tory Burch. Yes. I see that Shelly said that's amazing. Yes, congratulate Keisha for sure. That's amazing. And so Keisha created an opportunity, right? It's you see what happened when you create an opportunity. So now Keisha's going to be hosting these workshops, like literally right in front of her target audience. And what that's going to allow her to do is, one, learn more about how she can improve her brand, but two, build brand awareness, and three, make money, because the workshops aren't free. She's charging for the workshops, and then she's also selling her product on top of that, because we worked to be strategic. I just said strategic action about these workshops, so that way she's actually selling her product as well. Okay? And we set up a whole funnel for it. So think about all of the opportunities that you're possibly missing out on and what you can do to get yourself one step closer. And one of the things that I'm going to have us do that's going to attribute to this is I want every week for us to share a win. So Keisha just shared a win, but starting next week, everybody who's on the live is going to share a win. So you need to have something to share. I don't know what that thing is going to be, but you need to have something to share. Okay? So that means that every single week you need to be taking the proper steps to create opportunities for yourself, so that when you come back week after week, you can actually share something good that has happened to you. And this, honestly, so I am in another mentorship group, and this is something that they do in there, and it's just something about when people share wins that just motivates you to just do better or to just do something, period, if you haven't been doing anything. Right? And so every week we're going to share wins, and I'll also share a win with you starting next week as well. Well, actually, I can share a win right now, because I've pushed myself to operate at a level where I can share wins due to the fact of having a community that tends to share their wins with us as well, right? And that is the power of community, honestly, as well too. That is the power of community. So one win for me is that I had this plan to grow my business in a certain way, and I wanted to have capital in order to do it. And I recently got approved for the amount that I wanted to in capital, right? I'm on YouTube Live, so I'm not going to say on YouTube Live, but I'll share with y'all in the group, in the Bomb CEO group. But congrats, Crystal. I put myself in the space to get that capital, right? I sent the emails I needed to send. I looked at the steps I needed to take, and I did the steps in order to get this 5-figure capital. I created that opportunity for myself. Crystal says she got an order at the beginning of this call. Look at that. It's the energy from just being on the call. It's the energy from just being on the Bomb CEO call. That's really good. Thank you for sharing a win, Crystal. Crystal said yes. So we just heard a win from Keisha. We just heard a win from Crystal. And I just told you a win about myself as well from this week. So that should motivate those who don't have a win. You need to win about something. Something got to win. So figure it out and put yourself in the opportunity, in the space and opportunity to win. Andrea said that's awesome. Thanks, Andrea. Okay, so next week, come with a win. All right. Now, trait number 6 or characteristic number 6 that will make you multi-6 figures, or that bomb CEOs have, is that they invest in their growth. Now, this is not something that I feel as though I need to stress in terms of investment, because y'all have invested to be a part of this community. And this investment, honestly, is a no-brainer to me. And it's a no-brainer to y'all as well. But I know that there's some people who are straddling the fence of investing in something, whether it's this community of Bomb CEO or whether it's something else. And what's crazy is they straddle the fence with investing, but they have these big goals. And what they don't realize is that investment is possibly the thing that's stopping them from the goal or from the growth in the first place. Would y'all agree? I see Shelly eating it. She nodding yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. Right? That could literally be the thing. And sometimes, right, let me tell you, sometimes it's not about investing in something that has all of the strategic answers that you need. Sometimes it's investing to be in a certain room to meet the person that you need. It's crazy. There have been some people who I've crossed paths with in the past that have been part of the reason why I made a certain amount that month or that year. It could have been a simple conversation where I was venting to them about something and they said, well, Chanel, why don't you just do this? And that one suggestion that they made turned into over $10,000, maybe even $20,000 in the matter of a few weeks or a month, because I heard the suggestion, created the action plan, and I executed. So you hear all these steps like adding up onto each other, all these traits, they build on each other. That's why I said these are like the 7 traits that you absolutely need. It could be a conversation that you need within this community that can help you make a decision that will lead to a ton of growth. You could be struggling, even outside of money. You could be struggling with something and somebody could be so good at it that if you just share that in this community that you've invested in, they can help you with that. Right? It could be something like that. By simply just investing in your growth, being in the right rooms, being in the right programs, being led by the right person. I just got off the call. I haven't had any calls this week that were longer than 30 minutes because my executive assistant was very, very strict about that. I'm supposed to be on vocal rest. And I was like, I got to do this call this week, so I'm going to rest and I'm not going to talk to anybody else except Bomb CEO and this one client who did a VIP day with me and has her post VIP day touch points. I didn't want to skip it because I felt as though VIPs, they work with me when they need results really, really fast. So I didn't want to skip her touch point. So we had a touch point today and she was saying something like, oh, I'm working on executing all of the email automations that you taught me, but I keep getting stuck with designing my emails on Canva. Then she also had worked with a designer in the past who did her logo and everything, but didn't give her a style guide. And if you know anything about style guides or brand guidelines, if you don't, you'll learn. But they're like literally like the blueprint to your brand visuals. And so when I heard that and I told her to request it from this designer, and the designer's like, oh, well, I don't do that. I said, what? And you paid how much? And so combine that with the issue she was having with designing her Klaviyo emails is because one, she didn't have the brand guidelines she needed and she didn't have the style guide. And she felt like she lacked a little bit of knowledge in Canva. And so because she was open enough to share that with me, but most importantly, because she invested in working with me at the VIP capacity. And let me just say, it starts at $3,000. So because she invested in working with me for a VIP experience, which is one full day with me, and then some post call or post session follow-ups, she shared that with me. And I said, and she was like, yeah, I'm going to look for somebody to design it and da da da, blah, blah. And I said, girl, what? Literally, I have the perfect person, the perfect designer who's on my team who can do all of that and more that you need for you. And she was like, really? And then I was like, yeah. And what you are going to need to pay her is literally a fraction of the price of what it is that you're going to find and do for somebody else, because you are coming off of me and my recommendation. So that is the importance of investing in growth. Sometimes it's not just about learning a strategy that you think is going to make you $1 million or 6 figures in a month. Sometimes it's about investing to grow, or investing to prevent a mistake or correct a mistake, or meet the person who could potentially be the key that you need to unlock a blessing that's waiting for you. So shout out to y'all for investing in being a bomb CEO, because you invested to be in this community with like-minded women, but also being led by me, okay? So shout out to you. And it doesn't just stop with me. It's also about investing in just weak areas that you have, period, within your life and within your business. Okay? So let this be the start, but not the finish line. And so to be completely transparent about how you can make sure that you are utilizing your investment. Hey, Stephanie. Stephanie always comes on my lives, the random times that I go live on Instagram. Thank you. Island Girl said, rooms that you have been in, her suggestions that have made you a lot of money in your business. Are you sharing those things with us as well? With Bomb CEO, yes, I will. Okay, Keisha said, happy to be here. Crystal said, you and my team did my logo. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, and another crazy thing is the agency isn't even open right now. But because that particular person I just talked about invested in herself and in her brand's growth, and then shared what she was struggling with me, I was like, all right, we're just going to make it happen for you. So that's another thing, right? But to be quite frankly, it's one thing to invest to be in a group. It's another thing to invest and be active. And to be fully transparent, sometimes in groups that are virtual, I'm quiet unless I'm sharing a win that I recently had. And that's a bad habit that I realized. That's one of the bad habits that I had to start breaking. It's important that I show up, I ask questions when I'm stuck, because I can't let pride get in the way. It's important that I'm communicating, I'm engaging, I'm answering people's questions. If I have the answer, even if it's partial of the answer, I answer, because that could be super, super helpful to somebody. My partial answer could give them a total bunch of clarity. And so I recently got called out for not speaking up in this virtual group, because normally in person, you know, when I'm in the room, because I'm the person who, when I introduce myself, I'm extra, I'm all the things, and I'm cute, you know. So when I'm in the room and I show up, you notice me. But when I'm in a virtual space, sometimes I can get kind of like in a weird shell where I'm only going to share when I win something, because I don't want to make it seem like I don't know what I don't know, or I don't want to make it seem like I'm a little stupid. But in reality, it's like, ask the question. Share the knowledge that you do have. And so what I'm asking from everyone that's inside of Bomb CEO, and everybody who decides to join Bomb CEO, whether you're watching on YouTube Live or watching on Instagram, if you decide to join Bomb CEO, you need to make sure that you are showing up weekly, participating by asking questions, by sharing insight, giving feedback, all of the things. So that's why I said earlier, shout out to Shelly for posting her picture when she did her introduction. Shout out to those like Althea, who has been liking everybody's comments and responding and all the things. That is the energy that you need, because guess what's going to happen? One day, somebody's going to have an opportunity that they can present to someone, and who's going to be top of mind? The people who are always engaging and reaching out to them. That's going to be the person that they remember. That's going to be the person that they know the most about. That's going to be the person whose brand they know the most about. And now that one either opportunity or introduction even could open up a whirlwind for you, a whirlwind of success for you. Okay? So that's that. Invest in growth and make sure that you are actually utilizing your investment. Island Gal, did I answer your question? Keisha said, if my business is already making 6 figures, is Bomb CEO still okay to join? Bomb CEO is to actually get you to multi 6 figures. So yes, it's for you to join. I actually tell women who, if you haven't launched yet, you need to be in a very good space and in the right mindset to join Bomb CEO, because we are going to be talking higher level a little bit. And so you got to be willing to do the work. So this is about getting to multi 6 figures. And what you missed earlier, Keisha, is that 17% of people make a personal income of $120,000. So that means if you're taking roughly about 25 to 30% home from your business, you need to be making at least $400,000 in your business. And I am in that 17%, but I'm shooting to be a part of the 1%. And I'm also shooting to be a part of the percent that make at least $1 million a year. And so that's my next level. And as I grow to my next level, I'm going to be bringing people with me as well. Okay? Island Girl said, you answered my question. Are you going to post this video later? The replay for this, I'm actually on Zoom. It goes right into their dashboard. So it goes into the Bomb CEO dashboard. Okay? So I'll be back to answer more questions. Althea, why you laughed at me saying I'm cute? I am cute. And when I put my stuff on, when I put my ish on, I be dressed.
Girl,
okay?
You are cute. You are 100% cute.
Thank you. All right, so y'all ready for the last trait? Bucky, sit down. Y'all ready for the last trait? Keisha said, thanks for answering. You're welcome. I need a group that's going to teach me to be in the 1% next level of millions too. Yes, Keisha, that's why we talk about habits, not just strategies that you're not going to do. We talk about habits and mindset and all the things. So I'm super excited. And you probably missed the schedule, what we're talking about this month, but I'll share again with you. Althea said, I need an accountability partner tonight. Let's keep each other on track. Yes, hop in the group after this and buddy up. For sure, buddy up. All right, so trait number 7 or characteristic number 7. I'm happy that Althea said she needs an accountability partner to buddy up, because the people who make it to multi 6 figures and to make it to millionaire status, where you have assets of $1 million or over $1 million, or like I like to say, make $1 million within a year, they value connections. They value connections. Oh, I didn't even see what you put in here, Stephanie. Stephanie said to tell y'all that I helped her make her first 10K. They better not sleep. So she's on Instagram, and that's true. When Stephanie came to me, she was having like $500 months, sometimes a little bit more here and there. But then after working together, she started making $30,000 quarters, and she grew from there, got her first storefront, all the things. Has even had her own billboard in New York City and stuff like that. So she is killing it. Stephanie is like one of my favorite hustle babes ever. Okay? So listen to Stephanie. Y'all, listen to Stephanie. Andrea said, I'm ready. Yes, Andrea. Join. It's bombceo.com, or just click the link that's in the description. All right. Okay, so value connections, right? So what did Althea just do? She just said that she needs a buddy. Y'all should have hopped on that. Crystal did that earlier. She said, I want somebody to partner with me, or I need an accountability. I forgot the exact words that she said. Y'all should have hopped on that, right? I'll tell you something that happened recently, because I like to share recent things with y'all. So I just mentioned that I'm making sure that I speak up in virtual groups that I'm in. So I was scrolling and I saw that somebody was asking about co-working locations in Atlanta. And I commented, and instead of just answering real basic, I literally pulled all the knowledge that I know based on what I do in Atlanta. And I gave her 3 spots and my pros and cons about each. And after she saw that, she came and she DM'd me in the group. And she was like, oh my goodness, that was so helpful. Thank you so much. Do you want to meet up together and do some co-working together at these spots? What do you think my answer was? It was yes, right? So one, that wouldn't have happened if I didn't actually speak up, like I just told y'all in characteristic number 6. But two, when the opportunity presented itself, right? One, I put myself out there for the opportunity to present itself. See, they all stack on each other. But when she asked, my answer was yes. I didn't just leave her on red. I didn't just say maybe some other time. I answered. And I realized that it's been about 48 hours since she responded. So I wrote her today and I said, hey, girl, just following up to see when you want to do this so we can put it on the calendar. And she said, oh, my goodness, I didn't even see this. Yes, here's when I'm available. And boom, just like that, I made a connection. And now when we meet up in person, we could potentially help each other with something that we're struggling with. And that could unlock my next level in some area and vice versa. And that's from me paying to be a part of a community, right? And so if you're paying to be a part of a community, even outside of the paid community, value the connections. But what's different about being in paid spaces is that you know that these people take it just a little bit more serious than everybody else. Because a lot of people can watch YouTube. A lot of people can be professional learners. But the difference between people who actually do the thing, a lot of times it's paying to be in rooms, honestly. Okay? I see that Althea and Shelly collab. I love to see it, right? And so networking is super important. Building meaningful relationships is super important. Obviously, as we grow and build as a community, we're going to be able to build stronger connections, all the things, but it starts somewhere. So the fact that you understand that Bomb CEOs value connections already sets you apart from other people, right? Because sometimes it's not what you know, but it's who you know. Literally. It's not what you know, it's who you know. I've had somebody that I met who ran an ads agency, and she helped me make $45,000 in a month for my very first time. That was what, in 2022? It's not what you know, it's who you know. Did I know how to run ads? Yeah. Maybe not an expert level, but I knew way more than most. But because I value connections and I made myself open to actually networking, I was able to meet her, who then, with the budget I gave her, was able to give me that result. And I did not invest $10,000. I did not even invest $5,000. I invested less than that and I made $45,000. Right? Okay, so understand that your network is their net worth. You need to build strong relationships and be a part of strong communities like this one that will propel you forward. So I see that some of y'all are already doing it in the chat, but if you haven't done it already, or if you're watching the replay because you missed it, shame on you, because some of y'all missed the first session. Name one person in the group that you'd like to connect with and why. Or if you don't know, share whatever it is you're looking for, an accountability partner, and then buddy up with somebody. Schedule a time to chat or connect. It could be on our group on the side. You can chat, or you can exchange information in like text or something. So either chat on the group or exchange information in text or something like that. I like to do text messages, honestly, voice notes. It helps a lot. Okay? And so what I want is by next week that you have already started a conversation with somebody. I also want to see that you've posted in the feed. So outside of buddying with somebody, I want you to create a conversation in the feed, either by sharing your thoughts on something or by asking a question related to your brand, your business, or, the session. You need to post in the group by the next time. All right, everybody got it? Everybody wrote down everything that I said to do, because it was a lot of things. Jasmine Moore said, if you're in the beginning of your journey of entrepreneurship, is Bomb CEO for you? If you're willing to commit and do the work, yes, Bomb CEO is for you. Yes, yes, yes. Everybody got it written down. If you don't, I'm sure Reagan will remind y'all, because I was just saying stuff, so she was writing them down. And just to remind everybody, before we get into the giveaway, just to remind everybody, this is the schedule. I'm showing you the schedule because I'm showing you all the juicy things that we are learning, right? So next week, we're going to meet on the 5th on Friday instead of Thursday, and we're going to be talking about the brand building blocks. So the components to building a strong brand. Then on the 11th, we're going to talk about target audience, and we're going to actually map out your full target audience profile. I'm talking about desires, what they like to watch, what they like to read, what websites they visit, what jobs they have, all of that. We're doing that in detail together. On the 18th, which a lot of y'all can't wait for, the power of community, we're going to talk about building a loyal community. And inside that, we're going to talk about building an email list. And then on the 25th, we're going to have our Q&A session. So if you listen to me and you actually execute on the things that I shared in this session and the sessions after this, you're going to naturally have questions. It doesn't matter if you have a list of 10 questions, come with your questions and we'll just rotate for as long as we can, and we will get your questions answered. So you should come with questions about something, with all the things that you're going to learn and the things that you're going to need to execute on. Everybody got it? Perfect, perfect, perfect. So before we do questions tonight, or quick questions, it's not going to be a lot of questions. Before we do questions, it's giveaway time. Yay! I'm so excited. It's giveaway time. So as y'all know, we were sporting a giveaway, a luxury giveaway with 3 prizes. This is going to be the first prize that we're giving away. Okay, so this is going to be the first prize. So it's 3 prizes that you can win. The lowest level, let's start there, is a gift card to some higher end stores, right? So you can use this gift card at Nordstrom, Bloomingdale's, Sephora, Victoria's Secret, hit the Cheesecake Factory. I actually love the Cheesecake Factory. That's like my favorite, honestly. Okay, so you're gonna be able to shop at any of those places. That's the third prize. And that's the one that we're going to do last. Then you have the middle tier prize, which is our high-end luxury fragrance. We're doing Jimmy Choo. Okay, so it's going to be a set, as you see on here. It comes even with a lotion, and then it comes with both fragrances that you can use. So that's really cute. And it comes with a cute little gold wallet. So I love that. I love that. I love that. And then the top prize, which we are going to give away tonight, is Tory Burch sandals. And you're going to get to pick your own color. Now, when I thought about doing this, I was like, this sounds kind of crazy. You're about to give away Tory Burch sandals, which if y'all know how much they cost, they're not $10, they're not even $50. Right? They're a lot, right? They're over $200, right? But the reason why I decided to pick all of these prizes that are not just cheap giveaway prizes that you normally hear people giving away is because I wanted to set the tone for what this community was going to be like. This community is truly for people who, one, invest in themselves and they are ready to achieve their next level. And achieving your next level means that you know what it is that you want and you're willing to do what it takes to actually get it. Okay, and that is why these gifts are here for the giveaway. Do y'all like these gifts? Y'all think we did good? Y'all think we did good? I see Glennis said yay. Danny said yes. Althea said yes. Okay. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, so y'all ready to see who won? If y'all are on YouTube Live, Keisha said, tell me why we are both teaching the same things. I'm teaching about community and customer avatars. Yes, Keisha. Island Gal said, will you always have Bomb CEO available or this just now? But Island Gal, if you look at the website, you'll notice that there's a special going on right now that goes away tomorrow. That will only be available right now. Bomb CEO will eventually open up later on. I don't know when though. So one of the things that I promised the inaugural members is that they will get kind of like my undivided attention, at least for the first few sessions. So I'm not looking to build a super huge group within like the first few weeks of it. We will open back up again sometime, but I can't tell you when, to be completely honest, because I don't know. But if you want to join, I say join, especially because we're doing the special right now, and that is like the ultimate special. If you went on there and you saw the special that we're offering, you'd be silly not to jump on that, especially if you're serious about taking action. But I'm not here to convince anybody. If you fit the 7 characteristics that we talked about tonight, and if you're serious about getting results and you want to learn, be in a certain space, get mentored, get guidance, all the things, then you'll know whether or not this is for you. And I'm not in the business of trying to, sell you or convince you. You'll know. And if you're serious about it, then you'll go ahead and sign up. All right. So y'all ready? Okay. I put the names and I'm using a randomizer to pick the name. So let me see how I do this. Let me reduce this real quick. And then let's see. I'm going to hit start. All right, let's see. It's picking a name. It's picking a name. Hold on. Is it over here? Don't tell me here. What is this? Not an ad. Oh, look at that. Y'all see it? Khadijah won. Khadijah won. Is Khadijah still on here? Khadijah said, I never win anything. Look at that. So earlier, Bucky, move. So earlier, Crystal was like, she got a sale while she was on this call. And I was like, look at that. The power of being in Bomb CEO and being on the session. And then Khadijah's like, I never win anything. And then look at that. You on the session, you're in Bomb CEO, and you won some free sandals, some free Tory Bird sandals. Congratulations. Everybody say congratulations to Khadijah for sure. So Khadijah, we will reach out to you for information and all the things. And we'll send you what the options are, because there's like 7 different color waves of the particular sandal that we like. Okay, so you get to pick it and obviously tell us your size and all those details. Super excited for you. Reagan, make sure that you write down that Khadijah won today, please. Super excited. But if you didn't win, and if you are watching this live and you're not in Bomb CEO and you join, you'll join in time for the Jimmy Choo giveaway. So if you join, you'll join in time for the Jimmy Choo giveaway. Andrea said congrats all as well, Khadijah. So boom, make sure you join. All right. So before we wrap up tonight, I'm actually proud of myself. I told myself it was going to be under 2 hours, but I knew it was going to be over an hour and a half. Do we have any questions about Bomb CEO overall, about anything that we shared tonight, the 7 characteristics, any of the things? Do we have any questions? Speak now. Remember what I said about speaking up. No question is a dumb question. And you could come off of, let me stop my share. You can come off of mute too if you need to explain it more. I actually prefer that. So do we have any questions? Danny said, I was wondering about when we would be reading the book. Which one? Which one? You talking about the one that I mentioned on live? So I said I wanted that to be the first or the second book. I'm still debating. I'm torn. I'm torn between that and Atomic Habits, honestly. So I'm torn. So the 2 books, I recently shared that I had started using the 12-week year method. That's the book that Danny's talking about, and it helped a lot with my productivity. Both Atomic Habits and 12-week year help with productivity, but if you are bad at making great habits, then we can do Atomic Habits first. If your problem is that you feel overwhelmed, then we can do the other one first. So let's have a vote. So if you feel overwhelmed with the amount of things you have to do, put a 1. If you feel as though you just have really poor habits, put a 2. All right, I'm about to end this Instagram live now that we did the giveaway. I'm about to answer some questions. Bye. So Khadijah, I said, if you are feeling overwhelmed with the amount of things that you need to do, put a 1. If you feel as though you have really bad habits, put a 2. Hey, Jamela. What happened? You came in really late. You missed the giveaway.
Hi, I'm sorry, I missed it. I just got done working out and I was in the shower. I'm like, oh my God, I'm supposed to be doing something today. I jumped on the computer, I checked into the central and I'm like, oh my goodness. So
Yes.
yeah.
Set an alarm or something on your phone or a calendar event from now on. Thursdays at 7.
Congratulations to the giveaway winners. I know y'all got some good stuff.
Yeah, we only did 1 today, so you still got the opportunity to win 2 of the others.
Okay, hi ladies.
But yes, okay, so I see a bunch of 1s saying you're overwhelmed with the amount of things you have to do. So to answer your question, Danny, we'll read 12 Week Year first. I'm not fully done reading it, so I want to finish reading it before we start. So I would say maybe we can start it the end of July-ish. Yeah, maybe the end of July. Or yeah, I kind of want to get a little bit into it. Okay, Crystal says she has both books already. So if you don't have the book, grab the book, but then also get the field guide. I have that. So I actually got that first before I got the book. And that's how I was able to start using some of the habits, but it's helped a lot. It's helped a lot. Island Gal said 1. Okay, we reading the right book. So when you join, you'll be right along with us. Okay, any other questions? The guide is the field guide. I will put the links in the group for you. I'll put the links in the group for you. You can get it on Amazon, but I'm going to put the links, because if you use my link, then, I get rewarded for sharing it. So I'm going to put the links in there so that y'all can use that link to get the field guide. But you can get it on Kindle too if you don't want to wait for them to come in. Jamela said, get them coins. Yeah, Amazon is like coins, literally. I mean pennies. But, we're going to keep pushing. Yes, it is. Okay, any other questions? That was a good question about the book and the other question. Any questions about Bomb CEO, anything else that we talked about, or any of the things? Don't forget that next week we're meeting on Friday. I know it's Friday and it's 7 p.m. But when you learn what time it is where I'm going to be at, you're going to be like, what? You're crazy for being on here. So if I'm going to be on there, please show up and don't embarrass me. And yeah, and no, we're not going live on YouTube again next week. This was like the last time. But go ahead.
So it's regarding the logo and oh boy. What was it?
Style guide? Brand guidelines?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, you remember we asked you in the group?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's appropriate to ask now, but
Go ahead, you can.
yeah, no. I'm saying I don't know if that question is appropriate.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
Is it what is it about it?
To work with your people.
Oh, yeah. So
Okay.
Onisha, if you have my email, right? The one that goes to me. I'll put it in the chat because I'm on YouTube Live.
I don't think so. I think I have the info.
Yeah. That one, Onisha handles. So email her. And
Okay.
she's not on the chat. She's not on the live anymore. I mean, she's not in the session anymore. But email her. I'll tell her tomorrow too. But just in case I forget for some reason, just shoot that email over to her, and then she'll get you the details, and then she'll connect you with the designer immediately.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
You're welcome. Great question. Any other questions? Speak now. Hold your peace. What was the biggest takeaway from tonight? What's the biggest takeaway?
I'm a practical girl, so I would say I love this. I wish if we can do classes every night. I would definitely get my work done. I'm a visual, practical, like to be in class kind of thing. So this was good. This was good. I appreciate you, Shelly, being my accountability partner. Please kick me in the butt. Let's do this together.
I appreciate you too.
Yes, I need to stop the procrastinating and get things done, and that is my goal. So everything was great, Chanel. You're awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else want to come off mute and share? I want to hear voices. I see Khadijah said flip the negative thought into a positive. Okay. Let's see. I want everybody to share their biggest takeaway. Keisha, you came off of mute before, so I know you can. Jamela, you too. Well, Jamela, you came in late, so.
My biggest takeaway is we're 7 characteristics away from being the bomb CEO that we want to be. As long as we're willing to become all of these things, then the goals that we set out to reach, we can achieve it. So this just made everything a little bit more easier or a little bit more, achievable.
Yeah, for sure. And it gives you some things to really check yourself about. Yeah. Crystal said, I love the gratitude nugget amongst everything else. It was great and informative. Yes. Oh, Jamela, I need you to set a gratitude alarm. Pick a time of the day where you're the most at peace, and you need to say something grateful for that specific day. Glennis said, taking strategic action. Okay. Danny, what about you? Shelly said, the characteristics, all of them were great. I said, which one? Not all of them were great.
The characteristic that resonated with me was creating opportunities.
Okay.
I don't find like I try to do that one. I think I just sit and wait for it to come.
Yeah. How's that going for you when you sit and wait for things to come?
Not so good.
Right, exactly. Glennis said sometimes we can just be busy but not accomplishing anything much. Yeah, it's about being productive, not busy, right? And Danny, to your point about creating opportunities, right? So y'all know that I talk about Canva a lot, right? I talk about Canva a lot. Canva is like Canva, Shopify, Klaviyo third, but I talk about Canva probably the most because it like closely resonates with branding the most. So I talk about Canva a lot. And Canva had a program called the Canva Ambassadors Program or whatever before, and I got approved for it many years ago. And so any referral that I made to Canva, I pretty much made money off of it. And there were some months where I made over $2,000 from Canva alone because of how much I talk about Canva, right? And so sometime last year, I think it was late last year, they decided that they were going to shut down that program, and they only wanted to work with people who had the potential to not only share about Canva, but host workshops and, have events, go to events, have them possibly sponsor events, all that stuff. They only wanted to work with a subgroup of people. Why? I have no clue, but they made that decision, right? And so what that meant is the original program that I was a part of existed no more. So I wasn't getting referrals anymore. Although it didn't stop me from talking about Canva, I wasn't getting referrals anymore. I wasn't getting commission anymore. I wasn't getting all those things. And they had said in the email, oh, if we think you're a great fit, we will reach out to you. I was like, no, you're not. Not for real. So what I did was I went on LinkedIn. I did some searching, figure out some possible people who had some connections to the influencer marketing department. Ended up being maybe like 4 or 5 people. I put them all in one email. And then I literally wrote an email basically telling them about me, my brand, who my audience is, and then attaching receipts. Because I had a very, very good TikTok that has over 1.3 or 1.4 million views that is about Canva. I have videos, my top videos on YouTube are Shopify videos, but it's about me using Canva in them. And then I have other videos that are really, really good, over 30,000, 50,000, 60,000 views, all about utilizing Canva, right? And so I picked like top 3, and I made sure that it was like on different platforms. And then I even proved that I talk about this offline. And I sent that. And it took maybe a few days, but then guess what? I got a response. I got a few bounces because I was guessing email addresses, but there's a strategy to that too. But I got a response. And then that person was like, hey, this is the person that you need to talk to. That's great. Da, 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 da. Got in contact with that person. And then they were dragging their feet a little bit, but I stayed on top of them. I kept reminding them about this, that, the third. And then when I saw an opportunity, like when they had their event, I'm like, hey, I would love to attend this, da, 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 whatever the case may be. And I stayed top of mind. So then it ended up being, the guy was like, okay, this is the application. Fill out the application, but it's only because we need your information. Once you're done with the application, send us an email and tell us so that we could push it through to approval. I did exactly what he said, and they pushed it through to approval. So now I'm a part of Canvassators. It's not someone Canva ambassadors or Canva Pro affiliates. I'm now a Canvassador, and now not only do I get the opportunity to make money when I reference Canva, but now I get the opportunity to host workshops about Canva and them helps like by sponsoring me. I also get to attend Canva related events. So now the opportunity, what I was doing has now magnified because I created the opportunity, right? I didn't just wait. Even though they said, oh, we'll contact you. I was like, not doing that. I pitched myself. And so you could be one pitch away from your greatest opportunity. You could literally be closing your mouth and expecting to get fed because you're not creating the opportunity and you don't have the determination or the persistence to keep up with it, right? So persistence is like my middle name, okay? So that's just a little nugget that I wanted to share. Thank you, Jamela. Thanks, Althea. Hopefully that was awesome to all of y'all and that was helpful. All right, y'all. So if y'all don't have no more questions, y'all sure? I will hop off. Any questions about any of the homework you need to do, because y'all are not going to see me until next week. Well, you'll have me in the group, but technically I'm off next week, so I won't be checking the group as much. It's my husband's 30th birthday, and I'm surprising him with something. So I won't be as active. I'll be in the group here and there, but so I want to make sure that you ask your questions. Great question, Jamela. When will the replay be available? Within 48 hours. Reagan will get it up as soon as it's done processing. Oh yeah, it's Althea's birthday next week too. Happy birthday, Althea. I remember, yes. Thank you, Jamila. I'll make sure to let him know. But it'll be up within 48 hours, so it'll be up before Monday. YouTube, do y'all have any questions? Do y'all have any questions? Let me know. All right. Okay, y'all. So I don't see any questions in the chat, and I don't see anybody coming off mute to ask a question. So hope this is really good. I'm excited to get into Bomb CEO and all the things that I have planned. And hop in the group, do your homework. And I need to see the group going off, okay? All the things that we said. Have a good night, ladies. I'm about to go downstairs and work on some more work while I watch a movie. Bye. It was nice seeing y'all's face. Bye. All right. No questions. Have a fantastic night. Thank you, Andrea. All right. Have a great night. Hopefully I see y'all in Bomb CEO so that y'all can be a part of our weekly sessions. My dog, I'm sure y'all have seen him. He has been in the back just shaking and carrying on and coming over here, and I hope he wasn't distracting. But hopefully this was helpful for y'all, and this shows you a dose of what it's like to be inside of Bomb CEO, because this was our first session and it only gets better from here. So I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.